Hi Taurus, and welcome to your energy reading for the week beginning the 17th of April 2017. A few of you actually will celebrate your solar return this week, latter end of this week, so congratulations. I like to think of the old month, while we're in our zodiac sign, that's our time to celebrate, not one day. Okay, well, I've thrown the dice and we've got some lovely numbers. So, first of all, we have 4 and 6. So, 4 talks to the 4th house, ruled by Cancer, and it's home, family, it's property, it's our roots, our inner emotions, our immediate surroundings, our siblings, our mother, short trips, and it can refer to studies. It's a stable number. It's a good, solid number and stable number. And we have the number 6. 6 is peace, harmony, balance. 6 is, the 6th house is ruled by Virgo. And it talks about our health and service, our general well-being, domestic pets, or relationships in work. When both are brought together, this brings us to the 10, the completion, the 1, the rebirth, the start again. But the 10th house is ruled by Capricorn, and this talks about our career and status, our ambitions, our aspirations in life, our attainments in life, the success, our public image, and it can speak of authority and father. So we do have a reference to mother and father in them too. When we look at in the tarot, the 4 talks of Aries and the Emperor. Now we are leaving Aries energy on Wednesday to move into the energy of Taurus in your own sign. So it could just be a signifier of that the Aries energy is now waning away, making room for the Taurus energy to get settled in, and us feeling a bit more secure, we're in our own element then. The 6 talks to the Lovers and Gemini, and again we have Gemini. We didn't have Gemini. Well, it talks to the Lovers and a Gemini maybe around at this time. It may have been Aries who got that. But the Lovers talks of a choice, emotional choice to be made. It does talk of partnerships, be it marriage, relationships, or business. It talks of partnerships, contracts, legal contracts. So maybe we have got a bit of paper to sign this week, or we are thinking about certain aspects, areas in our lives, and wanting to make changes in them areas. Well, can I have the 4th card for the first day, please, for Taurus? Can I have the 6th card for the second day? We have the 10 of Pentacles come out. 10 of Pentacles, keyword is luck, though the 10 of Pentacles talks about financial fulfillment, security, more than just a happy relationship, a happy home, a secure home, a getting to where we've got built on strong, solid foundations, and it is a completion, it's a finish and a start again, a new start in a cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have the King of Cups. Can I have the 10th card for the adjoining energy? From these 2 cards, do we say that with the 10 of Pentacles, the completion in Pentacles, and the King of Cups, that's us. If we're talking about you, Taurus, we're talking about you in your emotional element, feeling and understanding and being in touch with your emotions, having harmony and peace with your emotions, but I'm not overwhelming you. And having a very good, solid, sturdy foundation in financial aspects and material wealth around us. And we want the 10th card now to bring the two together. But this could be having security in our emotions, or being not letting emotions get on top of us, having peace regarding our financial security and our financial situation. And when I say financial, I don't mean just money, but our possessions and all the things that matter to us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the 10th card is the Chariot, which talks, it can be referred to as a yes card and a victory card. So, but it talks of moving forward and moving on, making progress. As I say, when the two and the two dice are brought together and we accumulate a 10, we've got a completion in something. So we're either looking at completing something this week, which is leading us to a feeling of total physical contentment. It can be a sign of a windfall. It can be the card of a windfall or an unexpected financial bonus. But this card talks more about the stability of how we feel about what we've got. It can be a family gathering, so there may be a family gathering this week. But it can talk about love and support of those closest to you, and knowing there's a good network of people around you that care and are committed to the same goals. It can talk of a couple that moves in together or announces a wedding. But it tells us to be aware of our special bonds, appreciate the special bonds, and the love and commitment that comes with that. So we're talking families, celebrations, generosity, money, luck, a completeness, and love. Sat with a 4, which is a good foundation, solid, secure base. So if we have any worries about them areas, they are on a good, firm foundation. Then we have the King of Cups. Now the King of Cups can talk to a water sign. It can refer to a water sign being around at this time, which is Pisces, Scorpio or Cancer. But it can talk of us being in touch with this side of our persona. So maybe we're in our emotional element this week and being represented by the King of Cups. We're looking at being fair, being empathic, feeling our sensitivity, looking at our loyalty, being mature about things, looking at commitment and honour, having a lot of integrity. It is devoted to his friends or his career. This card talks about following your emotions, but don't feel you have to explain your feelings. Just trust that you're right. If you're following your emotions, and he's sat looking straight at the 10 of Pentacles. He's looking straight at his wealth is just accumulated, this completion that he's got to. But it's secure. He's got to be at peace in himself, have harmony in the fact that this is secure, or to get this, we can have it. But you've got to look at it emotionally and understand it. And then the overall energy to connect the two is the Chariot, which, as I say, can talk of being the yes card. It can talk of movement, travel, by any forms. Any forms at all travel with this card. It can talk of buying new transport. But it talks of moving on, of being able to attain what we have to do to get where we want to go. The Chariot talks about balancing the masculine and feminine energies within us, getting them to an understanding of working with one another in an equal balance, that we can move forward on our path without one pulling the other. So it's a battle of I don't want to say negatives, but the darker side of ourselves and our persona, and the lighter side. Maybe it is, we did talk about self-expression, and maybe that's it. You know, it's the differences between the person we are private and the person we are in public. But progress can be made here. If we're wanting to attain the 10 of Pentacles, if we don't feel we are there yet, and this is where we're wanting to go, or we've been focused, we've got to use our emotional King of Cups energy to look at it. You know, don't be too emotional and think you may lose all this security you've found now. But understand that what you have got, and you've got a completion again here, but you've got a solid foundation with balance, harmony and peace. All the right tools, as long as we keep in check with emotions. You know, check in with our emotions, follow our emotions, and we move forward on the right path this week. I'll take 3 cards from the mini tarot, just to give us a little bit more insight on this situation this week. And we have the King of Chalices again. So and I mean, this could be a real push for you to step out of the natural earthy element that you are in and step into your emotional element, and look at some, don't avoid your emotions, face them emotions. Because we've got the King of Cups twice, or there is a male, female, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer that is connected to getting to this 10 of Pentacles and a happy, fulfilled, I'm going to say lifestyle, not just relationship and emotional commitment, but long-term lifestyle, and things can move forward. And the High Priestess. Now the High Priestess talks about things that are hidden, talks about secrets, talks about things we don't want to face. And that could be that we don't want to face our emotions in a situation. But she does also talk to the moon, and the moon rules our emotions. So again, do we have to go inside, ask ourselves the questions, listen to our intuition, and face our emotional connections to our physical happiness and reality? It can talk to the water signs again, Pisces, Scorpio or Cancer. So there could be somebody relevant. And then we've got the Nine of Wands. Now the Nine of Wands talks about feeling to having to defend ourselves. And I mean, we're nearly there with the Nine of Wands. We've nearly done a completion in our passions too. I would say that we've been too defensive. We've been locking stuff, probably locking our emotions away. This guy can feel his emotions, but he won't necessarily express them. So are we not expressing our emotions on a big scale? Because we've got to express your emotions here on a big scale. It could be yourself needing to be in that energy, and another person that is willing to understand, express and exchange the things that haven't been brought up, the fears, the I would say emotions that haven't been looked at, to bring up and look at, and to not be as defensive as we have been, or to realise that we have been very defensive, and maybe it's time to bring them down a little bit. Because it's now time to move forward. This could very much do with a family situation. It could be with the Ten of Pentacles being there. It could very well be something within the family. Maybe somebody's got a little bit too emotional over something, or something's happened within the family that affects all and makes things emotional. But with the two King of Chalices coming out, I think somebody needs to face some emotions in a situation before they can move forward. And though the High Priestess often talks of hidden influences, mysteries and secrets, it can be a card of keeping ourselves in the dark and not seeing things the way they are. And I think it's not accepting emotions. If we don't bring them up to look at them, we don't have to feel them. And we've done that to protect ourselves. But you can't stay in that bubble of not feeling your emotions, not expressing your emotions. I do think we have felt them, but we've not liked what we've felt. So we've pushed them down and pushed them inside to protect ourselves. Whatever physically you've got ongoing around you at the moment, it's stable, it's secure, it's good. There's a lot of good around that can be pulled on at the moment. Something or someone is going to awaken emotions. You're going to come to a realisation that emotionally you've detached yourself from something. You'll be able to look at these emotions without getting overwhelmed, without having to fear. You've just got to throw them aside and not face them. We can understand them and move through them with peace and harmony, or to seek peace and harmony, which puts us in a good place for the Chariot and moving forward on future plans. And this is movement. if we have been stagnant in certain areas for a while, things will move on now. I would just say, don't be too protective and avoid connection with emotional situations. It's best to work through the emotions as they come, like the King of Cups, with a mature attitude. Acknowledge them, see them for what they are, with the High Priestess. And maybe it is about setting boundaries, or somebody cross boundaries, or crossing boundaries in yourself, in your own values. But there's definitely something, I would say, family orientated, around the home, that we're going to have to look at and not get too emotional about this week, Taurus. Well, I hope that was a helpful reading for you. As I say, happy birthday, and hopefully we'll see you next week.